community development, behavior development, a little bit different with organization because you don't belong to that community. You belong to the organization. In the community, you please listen and respond to their concern. Yeah. When we talk about One Health, and later imagine hypothetically that you are going to the field, to the community, what kind of concerns will you get from the community? Think. Okay, what kind of concerns? They will tell you. Come on, Ibu, Mbak. Kira-kira apa yang didapat nanti dari masyarakat? Yuk. Amelia, you will go to the community in the next 3 days.
Because I was from outside of Java Island, so maybe I will get a new way how to communicate with people from Java with slowly, slowly voice and a new way how to communicate with them, to perceive them, how to guide them to be live in better health.
Better health.
Yeah.
What do you mean by better health? What kind of health problems do you think that you will face in Soto?
Maybe with hygienist society.
Unhygienic society.
In
More specific. Unhygienic society.
For example, they maintain their pet or their livestock with a very bad environment.
Yeah. That is the way you have to answer me. If I make a test. Focus, succinct, so we know. Yes, you are right. You will face community where perhaps they will put their pets or perhaps their cows, their goats in a very unhygienic place, right? That is the concern. That is the concern that when you come to the community, you will face that. Yeah? And then, number 2, read. Read, number two, read.
Number 2, sharing information quickly in ways people trust.
Yes. How are you going to share information quickly until they trust you?
And I will show them what facts are going to nowadays, and then we show them we show them an example that really happened to our life.
Yeah.
Not to change their culture, but to manage what is better and what is not to be do that.
I like your answer, not to change their culture.
Yes.
Because you cannot change the culture within one day. Okay? I like that. But you show perhaps the dangers, right? The threats, the risk, if they just put their pets loitering everywhere. Good, Emily, huh? Oh yeah, early diagnosis, correct.
Building trust and understanding.
Okay. How are you going to give your notion when the community 3 more days, you don't know them and they don't know you, right? How you are going to build the trust?
First, early diagnosis, and then health promotion to the community.
Will not you introduce your name?
Of course.
Of course. And will not you tell that where you are from? Of course, right? That is
the persuasive.
Exactly. That is building the trust. Yeah. If I know you and then I don't know your name, so I will, who are you? But if you say that you come here to help them, you come from the organization like this, then you will build the trust. Okay? Read number 5.
Stable economics and
No.
engaging everyone in fighting disease.
Yeah. What does it mean? Engaging everyone. Remember, you are going to a family, to a community. Who is everyone? Where is your name tag?
Sorry.
Okay.
I think engaging everyone in fighting disease is like we have to point to family and like take them to solve the problem directly to the disease itself. So we can point into them and then do engaging to the family and then make some warm communication and yeah, just have a little chit chat and tell yourself, and they will tell themselves, I think.
Have a little chit chat. Have a little chit chat. Yes, correct. If you want to make a decision, don't make the decision alone. Okay? Gather, embrace the family. Hey, family A, you have this kind of problem. Your pets are loitering everywhere. How can we avoid it? So, you have to do it together, okay, with the family. Yeah? Remember that when you go to the family. Because we are talking about risk communication. Stable economics and communities. This is the most difficult. Because this is the biggest challenge. If the community that you're coming is very poor, how can you ensure that they will listen to you? Even they cannot eat everything. Yeah? So this is the biggest challenge. So be careful if you come to the community 3 more days. At least you listen to them. At least you listen and you hear what their problems is. And focus the problems on One Health. Build trust, understanding. Come politely. And then you make the decision together. Okay? This is risk communication. Lanjut. So, there are 3 elements of change. Number 1 is readiness to change. Are you ready to change? Sisters, brothers, is this the first global health true leader that you follow? Is this the first training for you? Okay. Is this the first training for you all? Yes, okay. Are you going to change? Inshallah. Okay, you have to change, okay? So do you have the resources and knowledge to make a lasting change successfully? Do you have the resources to change? Remember, resources is not always about money. Resources are about your energy, your spirit, your motivation. That are your resources. Are you going to change, to motivate your friends, to talk about One Health? Inshallah. Because we have not made any evaluation on this. Barriers to change. Is there anything preventing you from changing? This is going to be your exercise. 50 minutes from now, you will do this exercise. Give me the examples. What are your barriers to change? If you want to change your friends, your institutions, 5 days from now. On Monday, if you go back to your hometown. Okay? Expect relapse. What might trigger a return to a former behavior? Yeah? What does it mean actually? Number 3, expert. What does it mean? Can you explain?
Expect relapse is mean that when you go back from that community, the community will go back to their usual tradition, so it will be useless even.
You work there? Ready?
I think it will be a useless activity. You try to change them, but if they go back to their
Are you going to give up?
I think we need to make more evaluation to create a better readiness change.
Okay, let
For
us
the
see.
next.
Wisdom. Okay. So remember these three if you want to make a change. Your readiness, your barriers, and expect relapse. These three will be the main focus for change. Lanjut. So, you will do an exercise going through the 6 stages, okay? This is the stages of change model. It is not in your textbook. Ya, you will be given itu ya, print out ya, nanti ya. Enggak. Oh no, okay. So the first, stage 1 is pre-contemplation. The characteristic of pre-contemplation is denial. You deny. You don't trust. You don't like what the trainers, the facilitators say. Yeah? You will say again, somebody mentioned to me, bullshit. What is this training about? There is a denial stage because you don't trust us. You don't believe on this training. Okay? And ignorance of the problem. Because you feel that, why must I think about anthrax? Why must I think about rabies? It's not in my neighborhood. It's not in my community. Why must I think about that? So you will have these 2 characteristics in the pre-contemplation. Denial, you resist, and ignorance. I don't care. I don't trust. I don't believe. Okay? So what will help you to conquer these characteristics? Encourage the individual to rethink their behavior. Think. If you are not interested, why do you melamar ke proyek ini? Ya kan? Melamar sendiri kan? So if you're not interested, why do you apply? Think about that. If you're not interested, if you don't apply, then we can give your seat to another person. And that will rethink you about why am I here. Okay? Number 2, encourage self-analysis and introspection. Look at yourself introspectively. Why am I here? And what can I do for the betterment? Okay? If you are here already, if you are accepted, means that you have a contract with me. Explain the risk of the current behavior. Current behavior is now. You haven't gone to this training. This is only the 2nd day. So the risk, if you don't know about One Health, what will be the risk? Asti, can you mention about me? What will be the risk if you don't come to this training?
You will not be a good leaders in the future.
Yes. That is a very simple answer. Because we are training for you to be a global health true leaders. True leaders means that you will become smarter, you will become wiser, you will become braver, yeah? And you will become, one more, I forget. But that is what the true leader is. If you happen to succeed in the 4 main focuses, intrinsic factors, you will be my follower. You will be, inshallah, the head of WHO. Okay? You have to bear that in your mind. So think about this. Number 2, after you think about this, number 2, we will go to another stage. Number 2. So the characteristic is contemplation, contemplasi, ambivalence, conflicted emotions. And the 3rd day, you will start to think, this is important for me. But whether this is also important for my organization, whether this is also important for my friends. So you have an ambivalence, you have a keraguan-raguan about your knowledge, your new knowledge. And you will have a conflicted emotions. because you feel that you are motivated to do this, and then you are a conflicted emotion because you will see that, my friends are ignorance. So these are two characteristics of contemplation. And what can actually you do? You have to weigh the pros and the cons and the changing behavior. What is much more heavier, the pros or the cons? Okay? Confirm readiness to change and encourage confidence in your abilities. You have to stand strong, as I say, smarter, braver, wiser. You have to stand strong because you are the true leaders. Not everybody got the privilege to be here. Yeah? Identify barriers to change. Make a list. What will be your barriers? And this is the stage 2. There are 6 stages that you have to go through later on in a group. Lanjut. Preparation. After you pass that kind of ambiguity, about that kind of ambivalent stage, then you start to think, yes, I was allowed to do this training. I got a lot of information. I got a lot of new things, new friends. Why not I do an experimentation? Small things, small experimentation, and collecting information about the change. How can I make the change? Write down your goals. Prepare a plan for action and make a list of motivating statements. Who said motivation before? You said motivation. Yeah, list a motivation. One example of motivation perhaps is that you have a friend who have the similar idea with you. That is very much motivating. So write down your goals, prepare a plan of action, and make a list of motivating statements. This is stage 3. Stage 4. Now comes to the acting stage. Taking direct action toward achieving a goal. What will you do? Action, because this is a behavioral development. This is a change. You don't show it a change, you don't show it an action, then it does not mean anything. Don't be scared to reward your success. Write down your success. Perhaps you are so brave enough to come to your boss and said that, boss, I got my certificate, I got a little bit knowledge on One Health, so this is my achievement in this year. Seek out social support. Social support can come from colleagues, can come from your teacher, can come from your best friend. And make a list of motivating statements. Yeah? You do that, and you do that. We will evaluate you after 6 months from this training. Next, number 5, maintenance. After you do your action, you try to maintain a new behavior. For example, you come home and then you do a small presentation about what you learned here. And then after a month, you ask them again, hey, do you still remember the definition of One Health? And that is maintaining a new behavior. Avoiding temptation. Sometimes your colleagues, your friends, your boss ask for more, which you don't have. So avoid that and say that this is my capacity, this is my strength, I cannot give you more. And what are the helpful strategies? Develop coping strategies to deal with this temptation. If your boss asks you to teach about One Health, will you do that? To teach the students about One Health? Will you do that? Yes. How? Okay. So your answer is, yes, I will teach them about One Health.
Yes.
Because
Karena
you feel that it is a waste of not teaching them because you have the knowledge. Okay? I'll come to Papua and then testify.
Thank you.
Okay, good, Merlin. Yes, at least you have a modality. You have a book, right? And if you don't have enough knowledge, you can call us. You can call Kak Chandra. You can call Kak Putu. You can call me. If you need a PowerPoint, you just call us. Jakarta has everything. Okay? We cannot come to Papua. I came to Papua in October and then I got all this kind of sunburn because I went to Raja Ampat. Yes, I snorkeled. Wow. I went to Kupang. Where is from Kupang? Kupang. Yes, there is no from Kupang, NTB? No, I heard that there are two from Kupang. Oh, Mataram. Kupang, I climbed the Fatuleo mountain. Okay, thank you, Merlin. Okay, you do that, okay? So develop coping strategies to deal with temptation and remember to reward yourself for your success. Don't feel shy to reward yourself. It's very important. Indonesian people is very stingy of telling people, oh, you have done a good job. Oh, I'm so happy, even though job is not good. But it's so different with the Americans. The Americans always say, even though you have to do a small things, they say, oh, your job is good. Oh, you're doing fine. Oh, you will be okay. But actually not okay. So, so you're stingy to compliment people. And I think that is our obstacles in Indonesia. Yang kedua adalah orang Indonesia itu nggak boleh lihat orang lain seneng. Iya kan? Seneng dikit terus diomelin. Okay, number 6, the last one. Nah, relapse. Merlin, remember, you have to do a small training, teaching to your colleagues. After you succeeded, you put on your successes, and then you write down the feelings of disappointment, failure, and frustration. You frustrated because you invited 10 people, only 2 people came. But don't look that way. Look that, Alhamdulillah, there were 2 people. So always look a glass half full, not half empty. Okay, that is the philosophy. So identify triggers that lead to relapse. Recognize barriers to success and take steps to overcome. Reaffirm your goals and commitment to change. Don't ever give up. You make another goal for next year. Okay, Marlene? Yes, very good. I will show this over and over again because this is going to be your exercise 30 minutes from now. But let me first show you how I changed myself from a medical doctor who is quiet intelligence, with quiet smart, and becoming a public health worker. Yeah? And don't ever put down public health. Because in WHO, if you are not a public health master, you will never get the application in WHO. If you are a specialist, no way. No. Okay, let me tell you a story, a small story, because I was teaching like this. In 1997. I got a call from WHO, Southeast Asia Regional Office, New Delhi. Dr. Adik, do you wish to help us? I say, in what capacity? I say, that time I was already a professor. And then they say, well, the regional advisor for primary health care was about to retire. We have a post there. Can you help us? And then I say, okay, how do you know me? Don't worry, we have your CV in my hand. What? I say. And then how long? 3 months first. Where? India. India, my God. It's not Geneva? No. Okay. How about the salary? Geneva and India's salary are the same. The same. So with the similar salary, salary is the same, but allowance is different. Allowance is different. Okay? Okay. I talked to my husband and I said, husband, why not? Try, because you're already a full professor. So I went. That was in 97, in almost winter time. And I was crying for the whole full week because I talked with the Indian. There is no Indians, right? With the Indians' behavior. They are so rude. They are so looking to you with the big eyes like that, right? So, well, what, no problem. And then when I came to the office, I asked the officer. The officer who called me was Dr. El Nagar from Egypt. And I asked El Nagar, why do you call me? There are so many options. How do you get my CV? So I never applied to WHO. Never. And then they say, I have your CV. And girls, boys, remember, if you want to go to lead your international ladder, go from the bottom. Why they have my CV? Because I worked for 5 years as a national consultant in Indonesia for UNDP, for UNFPA, for WHO, for UNICEF, so for FAO. So they have the CV. And then later, when I became a WHO representative, I understood. Because we have a monthly meeting among 13 agencies. And then we share together the good people in the countries that perhaps we can put them up to WHO or to the UN. So that is the way. The number 2, I learned also, if you want to make a CV, make it as detailed as possible. Every year, I have to see 400 CVs for a post in Myanmar or in Nepal. And then you know what? Indian people, if they put the CV, they make it 12 pages, straightforward. Even the small thing, for example, like you now, having this kind of training, they put it. And even here, you can also put actively involved in the discussion. Put it in your CV. And that will be later interviewed. But Indonesians are so timid, so shy. Only 2 pages, only 3 pages, only the big ones they put. I have ever done the Global Health Through Leaders training. Yeah, I went there one time. What did you do? Yeah, I was a participant just like that. But Indian, I was actively in the discussion. They put that. So, put your CV in very detailed manner, okay? That is what I learned. So, I went to India. After 3 months, I was again approached by Dr. El Nagar. You really don't want that post? Yes, but I have to go for examination. And my examination, you know my competitor? Nafsia Mboy. But not for Delhi, for Director of Women's Health in Geneva. So we sat together in a room. She was putting there, I was putting here. And if you want to be a UN staff, at least you have to conquer 2 languages. English and 1 other language. Either Mandarin, French, Arabic, Spain. I went for French. That is the way. And then I became a full-time staff of the UN. Means that I worked for UN for 15 years. Means that my salary is in dollar. Means that I got all the allowances. Yeah. So and that means that I don't have any nationality. Means that I have to be ready to go anywhere, to any activity to any action. So I want to show you now what do I do? What did I do when I was in the UN? Not all, because I